Hello, everyone. A very good morning to you all. I am Harleen, your host for today's session. I hope you're all having a pleasant morning and are excited and ready for the brand new informative session of the Masterclass series organized by the Institute of Product Leadership. Before I start today's insightful session, let me give you a quick introduction to the Institute. The Institute of Product Leadership is Asia's first business school providing accredited degree programs and certification courses in product management, product leadership, data science, design, strategy, and leadership. The Institute has partnered with three universities in India and the University of Houston in the United States. The Institute was founded in 2012 with the singular mission of creating 10,000 products. Sorry. Um, it was created with the singular mission of creating 10,000 product leaders in the country. Ever since, the organization has designed and delivered programs in collaboration with various institutes, universities, and corporates to the senior working professionals to help them make career transitions into product leadership. The Institute has built and developed a community of over 3,700 plus successful alumni leading the product, data, and design teams across the world. We are also knowledge partners for 250 plus organizations worldwide. You can find out more about the Institute and the programs offered on our website. You can find the link for the same in the chat window. And for those of you who have joined us via LinkedIn, you can check the comment section for the link. Today's session is on applications of generative AI in product management. Once our speaker for today presents his insights, we'll open up for questions. Please keep your questions ready. You can post your questions on Zoom in the Q&A section. This session is being streamed live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So viewers on any of these channels, please feel free to post your questions in the comment section and we will share it with the speaker. Do not miss out on this opportunity, guys. Engage with our esteemed speaker with some good and intriguing questions. All right, then. Let me kickstart this session by welcoming and introducing today's speaker, Mr. Amit S. Amit is a solutions consultant with more than 11 years of experience in business transformation, digital transformation, analysis, solution delivery, and product management. He is also certified and experienced in risk and compliance. He is passionate about mapping clients' business requirements and translating these requirements into functional specifications. He is currently the Assistant Vice President of Growth and Strategy at Accenture. Pleased to welcome you today, Amit.
Hi, good morning, Arlene. Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for this introduction. And I guess you've given me a little bit additional opportunity. I think the topic is slightly updated. Overall, generic product management application, like Gen AI application and product management versus the overall in just the GTM, that gives me privilege to speak on a wider topic and not just limited to the market go-to-market strategy. So a little bit about me. I live in Jaipur. I am working with Accenture for past 1 year. Prior to that, I worked with the startups, mid-sized organizations, and large corps as well in the product management initiatives these organizations had. I have been associated in past in business process modeling, change management, business transformation. That is overall all about me. I think we have diverse audience ranging from various experience group, and some of us are already product leaders in the market. So let's make it a learning session for both of us or all of us instead. Since Gen AI is a topic which is still evolving and relatively new in the market. So just like you all, I'm also exploring and learning Gen AI in context of the product management and go-to-market specifically. So with that, I'll also want to mention, uh, please feel free to interject in between, ask questions, ping it in the chat, and I'm more than happy to answer even during the session. Do not hold on your questions until the end of the session. More than happy to answer in between the session as well. Yeah, Praswanjit, I think you have a question already. Good to see that.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Amit. Yeah, Amit.
Yeah,
One question I have that is, since you are a part of this product and growth, so my question is, when you develop any product, is this product specific to particular domain is being developed? For example, Accenture is good in capital market products. Okay, so it
yeah,
develops applications for capital market clients.
yeah.
So in this case, as a PM, is the role varies because sometimes you might be developer a capital market product, sometimes you might develop for a banking product,
Sure,
sometimes might develop no product for a manufacturing or defense, depend upon the
sure,
line of business. So is
sure.
that particular knowledge is very much important, or we need to have a generic kind of product management knowledge which will cater
Sure.
to all the industries? That is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, sure. So, to answer that, I'll put it a broader perspective rather than, a specific one, because I am probably legally not entitled to divulge the specific details. But yeah, mostly Accenture is involved in creating the products or wrappers on the top of the large language models across various domains, and uh, in fact, most of the uh, subtopics or subdomains within the GenAI applications of GenAI they are exploring, and they are delivering to their customers pertaining to the hyper segmentation, or you say the overall growth to market strategy, content creation, content automation, business process change management, end-to-end customer lifecycle management when it comes to customer lead management. So they have a lead management scoring system. Without going much into specifics, as I may not be aware of the legal line of business right now. But yeah, I'll cover it at a broad level what not just Accenture but overall industry is evolving, and Accenture is working on almost all the use cases possible within Gen AI domain. Uh, Accenture does not create the large language model, but we rather work on the large language, the use cases based on the large language model already existing, such as BERT or GPT-4. Hope that answers your question, Prasunjit.
Yeah, yeah. So one question I have, since you are part of the product management role, so my question is, do you need to know technical aspect of that particular model, or you just need to know overall high level about the product, how it is going to function, and what are the ROI from the product, and how it will create value for the customers? These are
Sure.
all the role as a PM you look at, because I
Yeah.
am a business analyst currently working in one of the IT company. So
Yeah.
I want to transit myself into product management role. So
Yeah.
currently I'm working in some part of the product like enhancement applications, adding new features which is not part of the product development. But when I go for full-fledged product right from the start, from the scratch, so that is why I'm trying to understand, do we need to have technical aspect of it when we develop a product based on
So yeah, so that definitely helps, Prasunjit. But not having that does not stop you from entering into the foray. Of course, it will help you when you interact with the people who are actually building the use cases or customer ready products for the end customers. And in fact, as you go as a product manager, and if you do the client sales pitching in the end with your sales SMEs, it definitely helps having an expertise, having a expertise in terms of understanding how the two systems would integrate with each other, that the system that you are going to implement. So having a technical understanding and technical in-depth understanding is definitely a big plus. But again, the technology is evolving, so nobody can claim until unless they are researchers here. So they can't claim that, okay, we just need a technology understanding and not the business insight. So business insights are important, but technical understanding would take you to a one step, standing out in terms of where you want to take it to, right? So I think let's. Let me just go through with the overall content for now, and then in between I'll take up the questions. Hope that's okay with you all.
Yes, yes.
Did that answer your
Yeah,
question?
yeah, yeah, yes.
Great, great. Okay, so let me share my screen. I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, your screen's visible.
Great. Okay, so the overall core, the content of the session would be circulating around the overall application. What is the GTM? What does Gen AI help? How does Gen AI help in the go-to-market strategy? What is a market analysis? What is segmentation? And how does Gen AI blends with the marketing and helps in the segmentation of the data while we go for go to the market and reach out to the customers and users. What is a persona? How does Gen AI helps in hyper-personalization or personalized marketing campaigns or go-to-market strategy? Overall, what is a competitive landscape? Where does industry is evolving? What are the different use cases? We'll also cover that. Maybe we will conclude with a couple of real life example, maybe a product demo, a couple of product demos, and how do we leverage those products in the Gen AI landscape and overall customer life cycle journey. Um, so as an introduction, Gen AI has been not a very new concept. It has been evolving ever since 1958, when we started having first machine learning calculation or machine learning model. But it has gained prominence with a lot of automation, a lot of large language models coming into picture, starting with AI to Elmo or Google's BERT or Meta's Robert, and it has evolved and has disrupted the industry with the evolution of GPT-3 in 2020, and it has evolved to if not thousand, at least hundreds of use cases in each industry wherever it's possible to automate the system, automate content generation, image generation. So broadly, Gen AI is categorized, or models are basically categorized in two broad categories. One is generative alternate, that is where you have a text or image input to the Gen AI model, and it in turns generates a creative video or images in response. And then there are transformational model. The transformational model actually generates from a text input. It generates you the relevant outcome that you are looking for. These both are can be trained on either unsupervised or supervised learning, depending on where the end applications would be. Moving to what are the different applications we have for the generative AI in terms of the go-to-market strategy or go-to-market life cycle. So we can use it for market research and or customer research, having overall industry competitive landscape, where what all competitors are doing, how are they utilizing the use cases, or what are they or what all kind of products that they are selling. We can create a competitive analysis of the products that are there in competition of the product that we are creating. We can utilize it in terms of the overall data strategy or the optimized input products that are going to create finished goods for us. Because it does not only limit to the technology product, there could be physical product that we are going to deliver, we would probably need certain raw materials or goods that we would first process and deliver it to the customer. So giving us optimization in terms of the various factor of prices, it can help us gain more value in terms of the money that we save in purchasing or procurement. When it comes to campaign planning, personalization is the key today. The context and the segment that we are targeting would really help in terms of your conversion rate, what conversion that you are at today, and what is your potential target that you would be looking for. It helps in the overall customer journey mapping, where there is a churn, where are customer dropping off in the entire customer journey. So we can, based on that, we can plan our future campaigns. We can define the content strategy, not just limited to the content, but can generate. We can identify where our which particular media is giving us better or higher results versus what media are what should we target in terms of the content. What is our ad revenue or ad per or cost benefit analysis of the spending that we are doing in terms of the content. It can also help in terms of content production and management of the content. So be it the conversational AI or the let's say if you go to a sales meeting, oftentimes salespeople are quite occupied during the sales cycle and are not even able to capture the notes that they are speaking with the customer. So of course this is already integrated with a lot of prominent meeting tools, including MS Teams or Google Meet, etc. Right? We can use it for sales enablement as well. So these are all the overall high level use cases that we have for generative AI in the go-to-market strategy. Moving on, the market segment analysis. What is first of all a segment, or how do you do the market analysis overall? So basis the attribute a customer or a market would have, you can analyze or you can plan your market strategies based on that. So identifying segments based on the customer purchase history, the customer's buying patterns, how is the customer interacting, or what all pages the customer follows, what all product searches the customer does, what is his prior search history. Based on that, we can personalize the recommendation to the customer. It can help also in terms of understanding the customer better and devise the sales strategy. You can also micro segment those and identify a common interest of the customers. And based on that, you can create the brand creatives, target ad campaigns, marketing collaterals, and brochures. It can also help in terms of automating the entire email flow that is going to that the customers would have an entire customer journey that customer would have during the overall life cycle of starting from the prospecting and until the sales or cross-selling or upselling of the product. So I see there are some question. Hardin, can we take up one or two? Okay, so Hardin, can you take up a question or two, please?
Sorry, Amit?
Can we take up a question or two? I see there are some questions.
Yeah, there's a Q&A
Yeah.
section.
Okay.
Also, we've received one question from LinkedIn, which is how do I integrate custom GPT on my website or deploy a chatbot as a service on a web app?
Okay. What is the question?
How do I integrate custom GPT on my
Yeah.
website or deploy a chatbot as a service on a web app?
Sure. So for that, there are a lot of conversational AI plugins that are available in the market. So you can analyze that what is fitting your role, what is fitting your requirement, basically. And so there are tools which are there are today specific industry-based conversational AIs. Let's say if you are in retail industry, there are conversational AI bots which are available. You can integrate the entire product backlog or product brochure itself in your chat GPT. If you are, let's say, in a support industry, you can integrate ServiceNow or Zendesk or any other support ticketing tool with your website. So there are different chatbots available for different industry. So based on your needs, you can integrate it with your website. These are now plug and play system. These are available with maybe there are some very minor coding requirement. It just can be a plug and play integrations also that we can do with the website. We can generate the queries or sales from the conversational AI and plug it in our website, the B2B website. So that is how we can integrate it with. Okay, moving to the persona. So persona is basically it's a semi-fictional character that illustrates or showcases the behavior or intrinsic need of an individual that will form our target audience as to what age group that person is from, what is the demography, what are their pain points or problems or challenges that we can address, what is their purchasing power, what is their satisfaction requirement. So that is what would be a persona, and that will form the target audience that we can create our product or tailor made our product based on the targeted persona. So persona identification is important in a way to define your product offerings. What are you going to offer? uh, you will offer based on what is your target segment or target audience is, right? So and there are like those who have been associated with the business or product would know that we create persona and identify a need. So persona can be created by both like we were creating persona earlier manually. Now today you can also leverage Gen AI's help in terms of identifying the key personas that you would be looking for. What are their needs? So I have drafted one persona for 1 second. Uh, Hold on. Yeah. So persona. So there's a comparison of persona. This is the persona that generally, as product manager, we write identify who the person is, what is their essential task that they do, what are their different pain points versus what are the real or perceived barriers for them to buy our product or purchase our product or subscribe to it. What is their aspirations, goals, and where all it does influence. So understanding buyer persona or the customer persona would help us in terms of defining and crafting our offerings in a more innovative and more tailor-made way for specifically designed to uh, specifically design the product. Now, identifying a persona can be very challenging at times because you need a lot of data, a lot of assessment research. You need to speak to a lot of people, understand, carry out those feedback mechanism, those carry out the market research versus we can identify a persona. We can leverage the Gen AI to identify personas as well. So this is an example that I did from on my own, and then we could also utilize Gen AI. So I'll share quickly how it will uh, how to compare the two, basically the existing like the manual one and the Gen AI created persona. So let me share my full desktop. So this is the query or the create persona or resident nurse in industry for 8 years, serving large hospital. Considering our targeted product or our line of business is mostly into the large hospitals where we want to send some medical equipment. So the similar research based on the past models or past experiences, data fed in Gen AI. Bard is returning me this, that this is the nurse named Sarah Jones, age this, work setting, skills and qualification, what are the personality, what are the day-to-day responsibilities that this person takes care of, what is the motivation, pain points or challenges the person is facing, goals, and the future plans. So we can further refine this based on the counter prompts or additional requests that we can additional prompts that we can do to refine the persona. So this is at par or at least somewhat equivalent to what a manual user research would give us in a very quick time frame. So this is how the personas are formulated. So speaking of the persona, these are the key, key sections or key ingredients. Who is the buyer? What does he buy? Where does he buy from? What are his behavioral patterns or behavioral segmentation? His style of purchase or past history, psychographic segmentation, including the hobbies and lifestyle. So that will form a persona. This requires a thorough research. We can keep on refining these personas in terms of we can keep on refining buyer personas in terms of identifying uh, how it evolves, it actually defining what is the age group it belongs to. We can identify the number of researches in that context, right? So that is how all these attributes play a very important role in terms of how our product or what is a specific target segment that our product is, what will our marketing or campaign strategy would be, what are the different sources or channels that we should use based on the persona that we are targeting, or the people that we are targeting. I see some more questions. As product and process go hand in hand, how generative AI can help business analysts in B2B space. So definitely, B2B space, generative AI helps in terms of giving you a broader picture of assessing your market well, because B2B, in the B2B, you have to assess your market well. If you know who are the existing players, who are the new emergent players in the market. So not just the product managers, business analysts play an important role out here in assessing the overall customer needs in the B2B space. Generative AI you can utilize to assess the market needs, assess the demand that the customers have in the B2B space, or overall industry trends. There are you can't read all those hundreds and thousands of research papers, and you can't always particularly in the startups, you cannot invest a lot of time in doing the research. You need to have a very quicker time to market. In context of having the time to market, if you utilize Gen AI to assess the overall market, it can really help in shortest possible or optimal time to market. That's where it can really help in overall B2B space. Let's take one more question. For the applications mentioned that are for the applications that are mentioned, which tool software can be used? It is Chat GPT or some purchase in-house built software. I will hold on to that question. I'll cover that in the end. I'll also walk you through with a few tools. Chat GPT, of course, is one of them. Bard is another. There are more. But we'll cover through both the transformational and gap sort of model at the end of the session. That I'm covering in the end. Okay, so all these types of segmentations are critical to assess, to capture the customer insight and calibrate your target campaigns, calibrate the customer journey, do a course correction if something is not going as per the plan, or optimize your budget. Particularly, you cannot target, let's say if it's an SEO, you cannot target entire globe. You have to put restrictions on the specific micro segment that you are targeting based on the geography, based on the target user group, based on the mobile devices that they are using. So that is where the overall overall detailed persona building and the micro segmentation really helps. You can leverage the micro segments to optimize your budgeting or ad spend in your product go to market lifecycle. Okay, so what is hyper personalization? Hyper personalization is targeting exact user base that helps you targeting exact user base in order to optimize your campaign life cycle. So I've covered it broadly, but specifically you need to have a detailing of what are the devices being used, what's the breakup of the where does customer get the education from, whether it's the news sources or it's a social feeding, what are the data engine or search engines the customer is target customer usage. So data collection is then ingested into the CRM system. E-commerce sites are used to ingest the data in data engines. So we generally people also use the customer data platform. That's a single one source truth of the customer data. That is sort of a data lake which you utilize to create insights out of the customer data. It's just a structured data to contextualize based on the user needs. So the personalization is based on the demographics, behavioral, transactional history, interaction. What it gives in turns is we can cross sell or upsell the same customer additional products or supplement product that the customer potentially does not realize that would be requiring. We can target those customers. We already have a user base, and we can increase the basket size or ticket size of the customer ticket size of the deal. So this is what hyper personalization is. So what is a competitive landscape of Gen AI? Where does this market heading to? So we see segment it in three broad categories. What are the large organizations or large companies are doing? What are the established or existing organizations are doing? Or maybe what are the new what are the new emerging startups that are coming up with in context of the market landscape? So established players such as Google, Microsoft, Amazon, they all have their customer data platform. They all have the personalization platforms. They have in the CRM of Microsoft, you have insights and personalization of the marketing campaigns. When it comes to Adobe, they are very creatively utilizing the Experience Cloud Google, Adobe Sensei is utilizing the Experience Manager, and like Adobe is also utilizing the Photoshop and Illustrator that enhances the the content creation, and it reduces your go-to-market time as well. Salesforce Einstein, some of us may be aware that Einstein is being utilized prominently. It's integrated with Gen AI to have a better lead scoring. So when you say lead scoring, it means that how likely the customer potentially would buy. That would help us identify which leads or which target customers, when it comes to B2B particularly, to focus on. So this is where we can have the B2B, we can have the lead scoring and identify and focus on only those leads which are top priority, or top lead score based on their click rate, based on their email opening rate, based on the let's say if we have sent some attachment in the campaign, based on the opening rate in the attachments as well. So that way it helps in the B2B segments as well to have a better lead score and target the personas or the set of segment that is giving us more more value over lesser ad spend. So and when it comes to, and it has three broad categorization in terms of utilization of the models. One is you create content, you can utilize it for planning your campaigns, you can utilize it for end-to-end customer data analysis, segmentation, and insights generation. So I'll take a pause here. We'll take a couple of questions, and then I will take you through with a couple of examples in the Gen AI working session. So, do we have any frameworks in B2 Gen AI B2B space? If yes, please elaborate your question on the same. So when it comes to framework, so we generally have, so what Gen AI is based on the large language models, LLM. So these are fed, these language models are fed a very large amount of data, and they do a self-learning, or supervised or unsupervised, like either the data is being course corrected itself, or it's been supervised to ensure that the data consistency and accuracy remains. But when it comes to, I think you would be looking for the use cases or the B2B applications. I think in that applications we have a lot of applications. For example, like I said, Einstein is using it well. Customer data platforms that Microsoft Dynamics 365 provides, or let's say Adobe Photoshop, that is these days utilizing it quite prominently. So yeah. For go to marketing, how do you use AI and ML for crawling information on the web? Yeah, so for crawling information on the web, generally, if particularly people are interested, they can go and go to the technological face of it, but you can utilize existing available Gen AI models such as BART that Google uses, or GPT-4. So that you can crawl information, that you can use to crawl the information from the web. Searching through web could be quite complicated, and it has a flip side as well. At times the data accuracy could be a challenge in crawling information through Gen AI, but it gives you results to quite a decent extent. Today the BARD is also giving you accuracy analysis as well, that how accurate the information could be, and that's a big plus to analyze the information, because there are a lot of information available, but adjusting or identifying the accuracy of the information is a big challenge these days. But directly we don't probably need to go to ML, but Bard or Chat GPT AI can give you quite data, like the crawling information quite quickly and quite accurate as well. Excuse me. What is the accuracy of persona using Gen AI? If it goes wrong, then maybe you lose the customer. Definitely. So of course, it does not guarantee you the accuracy. It has a flip side as well. So we have to excuse me. We have to basically, it's a trade-off, right? Um, Whether do you have sufficient time to do the user research on your own, and do you have the budget, you have the timelines right in your favor to do the user research. But we can join hands with Gen AI in this context. We can get the initial hypothesis done for the user persona, and if the time allows, if the budget allows, we can still uh, go for the campaign, or go for the feedback, go for market research, understand validate the hypothesis that we have from Gen AI. So that still reduces our failure rate, and that also reduces our time to market. But yeah, Gen AI today is not 100% reliable. It can have its flaws. It's just crawling information from various sources and data sources. So definitely there's a flip side, and then there's a data bias as well. The AI could be biased. If it's a supervised learning, it could be biased from the perspective of the trainer who has trained that or supervised that large language model. So that way, yes, if we combine the two, it can give um, it can give better results. Will persona generation reduce, replace work of user researchers? It has reduced, but replacement, it probably would take some time, or maybe it will definitely require some human interventions, because you cannot just uh, put a user research. You cannot just sidetrack from the user search completely. You would still need to validate it, and that's where the expertise and domain and subject expertise of the user researchers would definitely be needed. So does the business create customized personas or use existing ones? Uh, Businesses create customized personas based on their product market fit. So to identify the product market fit, the personas are created. I think we covered the questions, so I'll move to one of the demos that I wanted to take you through with. Okay, so like we got some questions in terms of how does what are some of the tools that we could utilize for our overall go-to-market strategy or go-to-market planning. So it's just a simple. There's a tool called Taskade. I've just put a simple query, and it can give me more comprehensive as well uh, if I further do the prompts and refine my prompts. So I've simply asked him create a comprehensive plan. So this is the prompt I did. Comprehensive go-to-market plan. So it has given me certain go-to-market plan. So market research, product positioning, pricing strategy, sales and distribution strategy, market and promotions strategy, launch strategy, review and adjust. And we can of course add these all in our board. So it will give a Kanban board where you can create a checklist whether what all has been completed, define further subtask in it, assign it to your team to pick up and track a progress as well, set up calendars here. So this is one of the utilization of Gen AI. You can ask further queries in terms of create plan for designing an ad campaign, or plan a ATL BTL, like print media, social media, and and digital media marketing campaign. It can further break it down the plan to that granularity. So you don't need to put down everything all by yourself. You get a starting point. Of course, you can refine it, and you can further work on it to enhance it by either prompts or manually. But it gives you a starting point, and it saves some time definitely. So this is one of the tools that can be quite helpful. There is any word, and there are a lot many tools available. It's just one of the examples, and there's no endorsement whatsoever to these tools, that these are the only tools available. But yeah, this is one in many that are making a buzz and are quite extensive in the features as well as the overall usage. So AnyWord is a platform that creates the text on the go, and you can create it for to manage your social media. You create it has several use cases. So you can create product descriptions, product titles, create an appealing product information page for Amazon or Flipkart or any other e-commerce, create social media snippets or post for that particular product or your overall brand awareness product, your brand awareness. You can assess the insights or click-through rate uh, to the products or postings that you have done through the tool. So that way it comes quite handy. You don't need to write all those textual inputs all by yourself. Go to the marketing cycle, identify, go for lengthy approval cycle and rework. So it gives you definitely a very good starting point. Of course, it can further be enhanced and customized based on your product or the marketing guidelines. But overall, it gives you insights as to how you create the product detail. So let's say create a prompt, right? What do you want to create? You want to improve a content, post something here, it will improve, and it will. So again, it's using GPT-4, and at the backend, the backend is with GPT-4. So you can do a text improvement. You can create social media post for Instagram caption for your product. So let's say create a caption for special offer. You can create your own prompts as well. You can define a target persona. Who is this persona? Based on the persona, you can create the offering accordingly, whether it's the fashion enthusiast or this persona. There's a business or corporate women. If there's a social media influencer, what this post is for. Accordingly, you can create these prompts, and based on the prompts, you can create the description for each social media. Facebook post, LinkedIn, Pinterest, you name it, they have it. You can also create advertisements based on your product offering that you have. Again, these are the same some prompts. Let's say I select a businesswoman to write an ad to promote a special order, and I can also write an ad to promote a product. Product description, let's say I take it from Amazon. Okay. I can create I can create a tailor-made ad based on the prompts that it will give me. This is my product description. Okay. So again, so I can create landing pages. I can draft the emails with email subject line, creative emails. I can draft it for various purposes. Product listings on Amazon search page. Tell us what to write, right? So you can write based on the list of features. So these are my product details, for example. Okay. Uh, yeah, advanced options. Okay, so this will then, based on the inputs that I make here, it will give the prompts that I can readily use for my social media or my marketplace listings. One more example we'll see is Adobe Firefly. I think some of you may have used it in the past. So Firefly, you have to define what are you looking for. It will generate the creative images. Let's say create an image, brand image for content management company. Okay. So it will give you creative ideas, and of course these are this is responsible AI. It also keep you cannot it has it has a privacy, and so you have the creative SEO company, right? So creative content management company. So based on the responsive AI, it also has a tag or metadata attached to it that helps us or controls the usage or fair usage of the content. You cannot use somebody else's picture in the backend, and it will still have those metadata tags. So these are the few of the tools that we can utilize to in part of our go to market strategy. So yeah, that is mostly it. I Let's take up few questions. Uh, we open up for the panel. Harneet now.
Yeah, sure, Amit.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see some questions in the chat. How do we validate the data that is obtained from the Gen AI? We're not going to the market for the right segments. So how do we validate the data that's coming from the market? So of course, uh, so so how you validate is basically you have primary data and secondary data. You have some data available in your organizations primary research that we have done. So does it validate the hypothesis? Does it validate the persona that we have created, or does it validate the existingly available data? That way we can validate. And secondary, we can also use other LLMs to validate the validity of the data set that one LLM has given us. For example, we have taken Chat GPT's help, or some tools, or maybe Bard's help in terms of identifying and capturing data. We can also utilize we can validate cross check with other LLMs as well. There are moderations. So there are some tools available in the market. There are large, for example, we have Einstein in Salesforce. It can give you data validate. It can moderate the results based on what inputs that we are doing in the lead scoring. Okay. Um, so that we have covered. What's your thought on Gen AI ethics? So responsible AI or Gen AI ethics is quite prevalent and relevant in the current market. All the organizations who are leveraging Gen AI's help in creating better business or delivering value to the customer. Ethics are integral part of the delivery mechanism that organizations are picking up. So for example, Accenture quite heavily focuses on Gen AI ethics. no, fair usage is quite important. It has to be by design, uh, whatever Gen AI use case that you are using. I think there was a privacy concerns back in 2017. So European unions, US, all had to come to the Privacy Act, which is also known as in European market GDPR. Right. So there will definitely be a need. There definitely a need, and there would definitely be a rise of the ethics standard as to how you use it. You only use the publicly available information. You only utilize the information that is relevant to the specific context. No, like consent will definitely play an important role. So ethics is an integral part of any business. Gen AI is not isolated incident or isolated from the general business. So that way, yeah, definitely it would be part of the overall structure or framework of Gen AI. Some use cases for telecom industry or retail industry. So retail definitely has a big use case. So in telecom, what matters is how quickly are you able to resolve the customer complaints. So there are already a number of use cases that we see in practice today. For example, certain banks are using it for IVRs. Certain telecom companies are using it for designing the interactive IVRs instead of just the key input that we used to do earlier. They are now able to understand and recognize what query the customer has. It can telecom in the telecom sector. It can also help reduce the churn and can maximize the customer lifecycle value. It can help understand in terms of the overall analysis of who our target customers are, who are our top valued customers are, and we can ensure we offer some privileged services for them. So, for example, Airtel, for that matter, is quite heavily relying on Gen AI these days. They have a huge CDP that is working on that helps customer drive value. So yeah, so I mean, telecom again is not isolated from impact of Gen AI. Don't you think Gen AI is going to kill creativity? Uh, so yes, to an extent, it has, but I think it will further enhance creativity. I think so. So there is of course a pressure on the creative people to deliver more in a quick as possible time. So for example, the creative professions such as the visual designers, UX designers, or graphics designers, they have a heavy pressure on meeting the timelines. But what to accept, what to pass it through would of course be at the hands of the designers. It can help you generate a quicker design, but it would definitely need human input in terms of creatively rolling out some design in itself. So I think it will boost their productivity. They probably will have a head start in terms of picking up the items, picking up from existingly available framework, and within that framework they can enhance and they can further refine that framework of the visual design, or maybe an app design for that matter. It can be definitely very helpful for the designers particularly. Considering the security concern and the NDA with the customers, how can we make sure we don't disclose critical information using the Gen AI tools? So a lot of organizations are deploying these models. So There's a static analysis tool available. So let's say you have client sensitive information. First of all, what is important is that you label it accordingly and accurately. What is an internal use information? What is the publicly used information? And what is a restricted information not to be shared apart from the select few people. If you label it well, you can do a you can deploy a statistical analysis model or any existingly available tool that helps you track what is going out in the market and what is who is pushing those content. So let's say a part of content or entire or in entirety is being shared in public space or is being pushed to any other source than the authorized and recommended ones. This deployment of the tool can help you detect it. If you are able to detect it, you can enforce the compliance of blocking it from being shared. Again, no tool guarantees you 100% accuracy, but then definitely there would be a lot of control in terms of what are you sharing in the outside of the authorized purview of that information. There are many tools in the market that you can leverage and integrate it with your let's say internal uh, intranet, and it can detect quickly, and to the user that is sharing that information or extracting that information to the undesignated use will give a prompt as well to the user that, hey, this information is limited to the internal use as well, use only, not to be shared outside. It potentially may have compliance issues if you share it outside, or if you take it out from uh, a source, be it a internal SharePoint or share folder drive to an external data source or external party. So that can really help in terms of controlling that information. Is Taskade free? I don't think it's free, but yeah, I think it's available. And Taskade is just one of the tools. There are a lot many tools available, but it really helps. I found it particularly quite interesting. You can create the entire plan, and you can, it serves. It's like a next version of Jira, I would say. Probably it will reach there. Uh, so so does the business creates customized personas or use existing one? Yeah, I think we covered this one. Um,
Amit, we have a question that is, how do we verify that the content that we create using Gen AI will be safe and secure?
Okay. So how do we verify the content? So maybe I'll need a little bit of clarification. Safe meaning, safe could be it could be contextual, right? So safe in terms of is it a fair usage, restricted, or is it too explicit to be shown to only a segment of so that's where the human intervention also requires. Let's say if you use content, there of course be requirement to have a human intervention, whether this is good to go or we have to block this content because it does not fit the target audience, or it has some explicit content in it. Okay, I think we've covered the Q&A. uh,
We've just gotten
I would
another
need to
question that
see.
is, how about target costing, price management, and price sensitivity? Your comments on how tools can help in these aspects.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So let's say I'll take some real life examples how tools can help in terms of controlling or optimizing your cost. Like maybe for particularly for product managers who have been associated with cloud, and they must have seen that there is AWS or Google Cloud, or for that matter, Microsoft, they all have this cost estimator, that what is your potential cost would be. You can set up triggers in it. You can, it will simulate the scenario for you, that okay, potentially if you keep on utilizing these services for these number of days or months, your monthly billing will reach from x to 1.5x, 2x. That way you can control your cost. That is one of the applications. When it comes to marketing campaign, there are marketing ad simulators, which I have probably covered, in any day. So it will simulate you. Let's say if you are creating 3 tweets per day, you are promoting that tweet to X number of audience. Let's say this particular target group for these many hours. Similarly for Facebook and other media, or any digital media or any print media, what is potentially your overall budget would be, how long would you be able to sustain with the budget that you have. So it definitely, there are tools available which can help you optimize and control the cost when it comes to ad campaigns. Okay. I think I work with B2C retail companies, catalog enrichment. Yep, definitely is a huge task because of sheer volume of data. How can I leverage GenAI to do the catalog enrichment, product classification, and attribution? So okay, so again, there are extensions and tools available for product catalogization. You can also identify whether, let's say, how many products having the same images at that, because humans can make mistakes, and at times AI can also make mistakes, but it can give you some results and analysis, let's say, where there is a common product description across 2 or 3 products, or there are common images being used, or there are common redirection links being used. The tools can give you insights as to, let's say, these 5 products are using same set of images, different descriptions, or same description, different images, same description, images. Based on the analysis, based on the insights, you can then update product description or remove the product from the shelf. So yeah, those tools are available. And there is one particular website, I think, that has compiled it quite well, and I've been also using it for quite some time. So it gives you number of use cases in each segment. So what all, particularly from the brand segment side, and there are use cases, there are tools available for catalog optimization, catalog correction as well, that you can leverage. How can we use, whether content is original or made using Gen AI? I think that is simple, uh, and it's quite prominent. It has gained quite controversy when students started copying the assignments of other students, or copying from the web. So just put a text in, just put whatever text there, and there are tools that compares across the Gen AI. There are tools and if you put the same text that you have got in the Gen AI, in the Chat GPT, and ask the Chat GPT with a prompt that, did you create this? Chat GPT would respond accordingly, whether I created this, or this has been modified to this extent since I created it, or Bard. And there are plugins available that compares it, or that finds it out across the different generative models available. Market is flooded with Gen AI tools. Any tips or recommendation how to find, explore, compare best tools available? Um, that is quite true. So that takes me further again to the space that I was doing. There are comparison websites available. Additionally, what you should uh, also note is that, does the tool that you are using meeting the compliance requirement. Does the tool meets the use case? Does the tool meets the budget that we have, and the accuracy and quality? Of course, that's the that requires a lot of analysis. But yes, there are mechanisms available. You can compare the tools out of 2 or 3 tools, and just do a trial and hit error initially. I think since the space is getting quite overcrowded, soon, very soon, there would be the players which are not meeting the market standards or market ask will go out, and that happens with almost every space that is created across the over the period of time, right? So yeah. Any new question? I've addressed in the Q&A. Hardin, do you have any from any other platform?
We have one that is about for how can Gen AI, for B2B go-to-market strategy, how about its effectivity? How can you measure that, or how effective is it?
I think I covered B2B effectiveness or B2B application, Gen AI application and B2B segment. So effectiveness, of course, you can follow the product matrices, right? So if the sales is getting higher, if the monthly active users are high, if the daily active users are high, if the time spent, like the product matrices we have to follow. If these product matrices are being met, I think uh, tools are working. When it comes to particular tool, let's say, then we have to take it from a context to context. So let's say if we are talking about a lead life cycle tool, how effective our leads are transiting to, how is the lead scoring working in the lead management. If it comes to content, uh, you can identify what kind of content customer are liking more. So that ways it will give insights. We can compare the insights and identify whether it's working or not.
We have one more question, that is, how can I use Gen AI for user persona for online education business?
Yeah. So again, so you have to define a segment, right? So let's try it out here itself. Let me ask Bard, create.
Your screen is not being shared
Who
right
is
now.
it?
No, yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Okay,
Yeah, I
create
can see
a
your screen
user
now.
persona for a student looking for a product management course, right? In the with 8 years of experience in retail. Okay. And let us see if it matches the course that we are offering at Institute of Product Leadership. So name is Maya Kumar, seeking a product management course, location, education, current job, number of years experience, skills, motivation, frustrations, goals, challenges, needs. And depending on the needs, goals, frustration, we can tailor made our product. We can define the product based on the customer needs. Of course, this has to be validated whether this belongs to the target group that we should be targeting, whether the data that Gen AI has given to us is appropriate, accurate. That we can verify, of course, with a smaller data set in our primary user research. Any other questions?
I think we've covered them all. I
Okay,
I hope we have.
great, great. So
Okay,
thank you
then.
everyone for joining.
Just give me a
and Institute of Leadership as well to give me this platform.
Thank you for delivering a brilliant session. You provided some really, great and thought-provoking insights. We've enjoyed having you here with us, Amit. It has been a complete pleasure. Please accept this certificate of appreciation from the Institute. The QR code on the certificate will take you to a dedicated Hall of Fame page created for you with the recording of this session. I will share this certificate across to you later, and I would appreciate if you could share it with your network.
Sure, sure.
The recording of this webinar will be available on our YouTube channel as well. Thank you for being here, Amit. Thank you for this
Thank
session.
you. Thank you, Arlene. Thank you, everyone.
All our attendees, we've got something that we know you love. It's our newsletter. It's a treasure trove of product management strategy and leadership tips and insights. You can subscribe to stay updated with the product community. You can find the link for the newsletter in the chat box. I'll wait for a second so you guys can check out the link. We also host various knowledge sharing events just like today's. You can keep up to date with them with the link in the chat. Our next one is on next Saturday, which is the 16th of December, on the topic of design thinking. The link for the same has been shared in the chat. I want to thank all our attendees again for joining in. If you guys could take out a few minutes of your time to scan the QR code on the screen and leave any reviews, feedback, or queries, I would greatly appreciate it. I'll wait here for a few seconds to, so that you guys can actually scan the QR code. If not, you can also, there's a link in the chat where instead of scanning, you can just click on the link. Okay, then I guess we can conclude this. I want to finally thank you all again for giving us your valuable time. And I'm sure you've had a fruitful time at this session. And I look forward to hosting you again in the future. On that note, I'll end today's session. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you, Amit.